Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda. We're off here to 1 vs 1 on Crossroads. In the north, it's Major Kusanagi fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 7th Mechanized Corps versus in the south, it's Niklas fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the... There we go, 24th Panzer Division. Jaeger Infantry, Blitzkrieg and Defensive Doctrine with infantry and tank gun bulletins versus Armoured Assault with triple infantry from Major Kusanagi, Grenadiers, MG42s for Niklas, conscripts with Special Rifle Command here, so that's obviously going to be some penal troopers out there for Kusanagi. Maybe a sniper as well, possibly a scout cast, though they do tend to see a little less usage against the Wehrmacht, though that's not to say they don't see any usage at all. But the Wehrmacht's access to Panzerfaust in the early game, unlike the Oberkommando, does make M3A1s slightly less amazing. In addition, you can sort of push out the 2-2 somewhat faster counted, so there are some things that make an M3A1 less amazing, but I wouldn't call it a bad choice versus the Wehrmacht. Just you have to be a bit more careful and a bit more mindful in how you play it. We got sandbags up here from Major Kusanagi, very good work there. Grenadiers moving ahead there, MG42 shifting about, so he's in the eastern viewpoint there with the Pioneers. Back here, base for Niklas, nothing further going on except more Grenadiers. Grenadiers rushing for the central house here. Machine gun moving up the eastern side with the Pioneers, they're wiring off, preparing position to defend the fuel point in case of future fighting there. And we got the first penal super squad out here for Major Kusanagi, equipped with the semi-automatic SVT-40. Which I believe was basically just a downgraded version of the AVT-36, which is actually a fully automatic rifle. But as it turned out, the rifle was too powerful and could not handle the recoil, so they basically just made it a semi-automatic and called the SVT-40. So, little fun fact there, MG42 setting up here to deal with the penal troops backed up by the Grenadiers here. And there you go, Major Kusanagi decides not to fight his engagement, figuring that's not really good. He just retreats because he likely wouldn't gain any sort of... I mean, it's fighting over a strategic point, and while it does leave his carve point a bit more defenseless, the MG42 would ensure he couldn't defend it anyway, so he might as well just retreat so he can counterattack from a safer angle without having to worry about the MG42. And we do get a snap here from Major Kusanagi against Niklas. Certainly a nasty choice there. I imagine Niklas could consider going for a fast tier 2 than to go for a 2-2 to counter it. He could also go for a counter sniper, and certainly that is the other sort of overall major route. But why here? Very consistent there, work by Niklas and looking to prepare the battlefield ahead of time against an opponent. And of course, good control game there by going for the carve point. Sniper moving up here by Kusanagi. In the east, we've got penal troopers there opening up in the Pioneers. Grenadiers going to help deal with that. Machine remains on the carve point. Sniper moving out in the open. Of course, the MG42 can't see that fast, so ship division is safe. Punch going up the flank, caught the MG42. Jurgen gets sniped, and he immediately pulls back. The MG42 doesn't fully retreat there, no, by the way. He's trying to reposition it. Then again, he might have to retreat. Grenadiers versus penal troops in on their own. Sniper down to, or got the machine down to 2. Pioneers rushing forwards here. Probably trying to spot so he can take it out with the machine. No, he's dealing with engineers until they come from the flank. Grenadiers will help you with that. Machine needs to retreat now. Double Grenadiers versus the penal troops. We got a savage charge here being attempted on the Grenadiers, hoping that Niklas is too preoccupied with the MG42 to pay attention. He isn't. Cart and hay blown to, well, nothing. And there you go, conscripts pushed away, Pioneers as well here. Niklas wins the engagement around Major Kusanagi's carve point. That is pretty well played there by Niklas. Some good handling of his Grenadiers and the MG42 when in the end had to retreat it. One Grenadiers got pulling back, Pioneers getting sniped here by the sniper, low on health, less than half. Need to pick up that Grenadiers versus the conscripts. Pioneers need to get out of there. Back here, the MG42 is reinforcing. Sniper there, less than half health, Grenadiers falling back. Conscripts reinforcing, penal troopers there reinforcing, or should be reinforcing soon. Grenadiers still falling back. Back here, we got the takeout for Niklas, but he needs to obviously get the Pioneers back to get something out of it. Likely, considering he hasn't gone for a counter sniper here versus Major Kusanagi sniper, 2-2 is very likely. But there's also the option of flank for a half track. It's a option some players like, since it's, very efficient in some ways. It's obviously not quite as good on pursuit, but can still be good. And of course, murders a lot of other infantry unlike the 2-2. But the 2-2 is overall a bit cheaper, a bit more flexible, and certainly more suited for just more aggressively hunting down the snipers. We'll have to see what it ends up with there. Light machines on the way. There's still no sign of a doctrine from Niklas, and I imagine Major Kusanagi will be aware, of course, what Niklas is going for, thanks to a radio intercept of courtesy of Armoured Assault. In the east, MD42 there being flanked here. He catches the engineers, but the problem is he doesn't then catch the penal troopers moving up on the other side of it, and the machine's a bit exposed here. A bit more risky setup, of course, in this sense with the machine gun, and is quickly routed for it. Ooh, rifling it off the light machine in there. Ready. Machine gun's going to have to retreat. That's going to get caught apart here by the penal troops, and there you go. Retreats. Nope, by the way, he's only got one penal squad mixed up with 2 conscripts and a sniper, and further worth noting, he's actually merging the conscripts here with the penal troopers. So he's clearly just interested in the raw firepower, and basically figures, you know, the bodies themselves don't matter, so he might as well just go for the more cost-efficient route of just merging with the conscripts. It actually saves him a bunch there on manpower upkeep. So that's actually pretty clever there by Major Kusanagi. Pretty clever. Thumbs up to that. One of these here, they're struggling. Obviously, the conscripts may not like this suddenly being degraded to penal troopers. But what did I do? You didn't fight hard enough, comrade. Yet. 2-2 out here for Niklas. That's going to be a hard time there for the sniper. Of course, Major Kusanagi, unless you didn't pay attention, should be aware of this. So we'll have to see how he handles this. And there you go, penal troopers. I was about to call them conscripts because now, I mean, if you sort of look at the models present, they're all conscripts. Like, it's only the icon here that tells you they're penal troopers. So, little fun note there. Anti-tank grenades on the way to help deal with it. Probably prevent him just rushing into the base and that way taking it out. Still, Niklas is in very good control here. Major Kusanagi's going to have to do some harder work here to turn this around. As Niklas is so far proven to be a very, well, skilled opponent, obviously. People running at you with the conscripts apparently just quickly reinforced instead of merging here, since there's actually someone who's not a conscript now in the unit. An actual convict, rather than just a conscript. On false charges. Pioneers being about this now, moving in here, 5 kills. Pioneers retreating immediately, going for the car front to 9 Major Kusanagi there, his southern fuel point. Nice play there. Sniper continues to snap away there. Some Canadians up north. I imagine Kusanagi is going to go for a field gun with a support company to help deal with the 2-2s. He's also likely anticipating that Niklas will pull ahead for armor, in particular on a map like Crossroads, where there's actually more points than on most other maps, meaning if you gain map control on a map like Crossroads, you can actually use the snowball harder than on any other mapping company, or at least most other maps. So that is something that is incredibly important to keep in mind here on Crossroads. Map control is actually much more important than on other maps, simply due to those extra points. Since again, you can suddenly, even I'd say you have a small edge in terms of map control, it's still somewhat close, but say you got 1 point more, it can actually mean a bigger fuel edge to you. And of course, it also just means tank fights sort of having to escalate hard on this map, simply because, again, even in a 50-50 situation, there's just more fuel than being on any other map for both players. Children up in the house here, Pioneers move forward with minesweepers, which can sweep mines, but they cannot sweep houses. And there you go, Major Kusanagi with a SIS-3 field gun. Niklas and the 24th Panzer Division continues up here in the east, with MD42 support pushing for the engineers there. Major Kusanagi in the 7th Mechanized Corps remains very much in a tight spot. No tech up yet there though for Niklas. That could be a small relief, I suppose, for Major Kusanagi here. Even it is a rather small one. Penal battalion moving ahead there. Quick retreats. Units reinforcing. Field gun good to go. Car front being hit again here by Niklas and the 24th Panzer Division. Almost got the western fuel point and the western victory point there. Victory points was well. We got a small lead for Niklas, but beyond that, I mean, Major Kusanagi has been able to keep the victory point somewhat in his favour, so it's not been a massive lead here at this stage. Back here, still on take up. They actually caused huge casualties on the retreating units. We actually missed that mistake, my fault. But still, almost took out the counter squad, and the penals did not get out with easy. So that was a really nice rifle grenade there by Niklas. Really nice. So now they're in pursuit by the 2-2 and the MD42. And there you go. SIS-3 appears and blasts the 2-2, leaving Niklas short one light vehicle. But of course, the infantry following up is halted by the MD42, since that one's carrying the calf point. Major Kusanagi going to have to take either the longer route around here to flank the machine gun. He's going to have to go through here. And of course, Niklas, like any good player, is shifting the machine gun, obviously anticipating his opponent's going to figure the machine gun is here, at least operate under the assumption, and shift. Of course, Major Kusanagi, of course, could be an even sharper player and assume that this machine gun's going to shift, but you know. So that's sort of the mind game for having the machine gun. There you go. Oh, rifle grenade on the conscripts. Apparently, hand didn't go off. There you go, sniper joining in there, 8 kills. Field going about another machine gun, forcing Niklas to retreat it. And I believe he is, yes, finally taking out. Conscripts routed. Pioneers going for that fuel point. As Major Kusanagi's forces are tied up elsewhere. In the East Grenadiers versus the Engineers, we got 3 squads of light machine guns and leaving 1 Grenadier squad there without an LMD-42 now here for Niklas. That's going to be a real problem here for Major Kusanagi, who's done a bit short in infantry, though he is getting up maxims, which will help compensate. So Paul McCall can also go for Niklas, and he will likely go for the Panzer IV. There we go, take up is done. There's also the option here that Niklas just figures, I'm so far ahead, and get away with tier 4, which would of course be really bold. But on particularly on a map like Crossroads, where the map control is discarded, he could actually get away with it. I would not advise it. I could see the logic behind it, and he could arguably get away with it. But you know, it's not something I condone. Healing here, or penal troopers sneaking back into the unit. Not quite so much focus, then merging. And now Niklas is going for a sniper of his own, apparently having decided the 2-2 plan did not work out. Now he's just going to go for a sniper of his own and try and sell the matter that way. 10 kills there on Niklas' sniper, or Major Kusanagi's sniper. It's obviously not Niklas' sniper. Constant hit against the Grenadiers. Shots being fired there. And there goes sniper. And of course, thanks to the doctrine, Major Kusanagi knows. In this regard, while Niklas might be figuring he could have an element of surprise thanks to armoured assault, he doesn't. And of course the question is Niklas considering this? Ultimately, we don't know. Sadly, while radio intercept can intercept his radio transmissions, it can't really tell us what he's actually thinking. We can only infer such things. But here you go in the west, conscripts being surrounded by Grenadiers, light machine, causing heavy casualties for the conscripts. Heavy casualties. We could see a wipe here, which was definitely about Niklas. It was definitely giving him a much stronger infantry advantage, though Kusanagi's quick to replace it. So Pom, of course, still not going up. Is he planning tier 4, or what is going on with Niklas? That's definitely, I feel like, a bit more of a strategic error that is in favour of Kusanagi. I mean, the longer it takes before he begins hitting Kusanagi with tanks, and the better, in particular for Kusanagi's sniper, since obviously the sniper is not very good versus tanks at all. Quite the opposite. "13 kills there. Grenadier squad almost taken out. Pioneers almost got the fuel point on the west again, and in the east there we got a fresh force here from Kusanagi being dispatched eastward. Probably hit the fuel point there, figuring it's going to be undefended, in which case he is figuring correctly. And Niklas is indeed feeling emboldened, heroic, and all that. He is in fact going to go straight for tier 4 here, in an audacious maneuver. And again, largely I think to degree more successful because again of Crossroads and its fuel-rich nature. And again, it's not something I'd recommend, but it could work out. But it could arguably also backfire on him. But it's more likely, I think, to work on a map like Crossroads, which again has more fuel than any other map. Conscripts people swimming up here. This time we do have some merges again. Congratulations, comrade! You're now in the penal troops. Oh, sucker bliat. What am I going to tell my mother? That you will die gloriously for the motherland. Like your brother. My brother? Yes, he's already dead. Oh, no. Heading the eastern fuel point there with the conscripts. Heavy Panzer Corps up here for Niklas and Das Vaterland. Going to use as a penal troopers here. Sniper hanging back here close to Vetchny 2. 14 kills. Almost got the fuel point here. Mines being laid down. Nice work there. They're getting sniped, so that might kind of ruin the surprise there, since it is likely that Niklas spotted it. 8 kills from the sniper. He's definitely playing it rather aggressively against Major Kusanagi. I think he's going to deal where it is and where it isn't, in which case he's just using the sniper to put pressure elsewhere. Maybe he's hoping to that way force Kusanagi to dispatch his sniper to deal with it. He's basically pulling a Major Koenig. This cheeky bastard. Anyways, Heavy Panzer Corps on the way there for Niklas. Well, Heavy Panzer Corps, the Sturmpanzer 4. Certainly, I think also another indicator that he's feeling pretty confident. He doesn't have to worry about, armor. To a degree, he has, recently in a field confident like that, but still going for the Sturmpanzer 4 like that. My personal advice will always be, if you're rushing out with a tech and you got no anti-tank, you usually want something that actually fight tanks. If you're rushing the Support Corps, get a Stug. If you're rushing the Heavy Panzer Corps, get a Panther out. If you say you've got no other anti-tank options available to you, and currently that's the case. But still, I can understand and see the Sturmpanzer 4 will be effective, but theoretically, again, there's the argument that if, somehow Kusanagi had some armor or anything like that, he could be in trouble. There you go, field gun opening up on the MG42. And a full wipe! Oh, nice combo there by Kusanagi. Niklas there was completely caught off guard. So was the machine gun crew. Now we got air recons up, we got Blitzkrieg here from Niklas. Sturmpanzer 4 arriving, Pin-em-up machine gun being added. And he's destroying the machine gun, apparently figuring he doesn't know if he can actually get to it in time. And so he'd rather destroy it, risk it falling into the hands of Niklas again, which is, pretty good idea. In this case, he might be able to make it, but again, I can see the argument. Just making sure his opponent doesn't get it. Oh, dear. Oh, that wasn't quite as bad as it looked like. Still trying to go around here in the face of the Sturmpanzer 4. Or the Stup, as was called by the Germans. They did not call it the Brumba, that was an Allied designation. They called the Stup a bit like the Sturmgeschütz became the Stug. The Sturmpanzer became the Stupa. Down the eastern point here, filtering away there for Major Kusanagi. It's certainly starting to look like he's stalling for the IS-2, less out of, haha, I'm going to just do it and do it successfully and win the game, and more like, well, I could try and tech, but at this stage, considering how many resources I'm being denied, I'd probably just a bit off stalling for the IS-2, so it makes more sense in this case to stall. He's not doing it necessarily because he wants to, he's doing it because it's probably increasingly one of his better options versus Niklas. Shot bouncing off the Sturmpanzer's heavy frontal armor, it was 100mm thick. Kusanagi though has got the fuel for the IS-2, but he still needs the manpower, and more importantly, he needs the command points. Peeled was by finally been upgraded with anti-tank rifles. You might also want to cancel these reinforcement bits there, since they're just manpower that's being held away there. So, just cancel it, get the manpower back for something else. Panzerwerfer for Niklas. Again, Niklas is very much hard focusing on the infantry support weapons. He's hoping to finish the fight fast. So he's definitely making some sacrifice in his force composition, and if he can finish it fast, great. But if he doesn't, he's going to look a bit silly. Because at that point, whatever armor Kusanagi gets, which again is going to likely be an IS-2, Niklas is going to have an absolutely bugger all to stop it. At which point the IS-2 is just going to have a very straightforward time. Contracting him down, so they're going to tank grenade off field and opening up as well here. Niklas' Sturmpanzer falls in a bad spot. Infantry's moving up here. Panzerwerfer could also back up. Shots fired. Panzerwerfer needs to get in there, I think, to try and barrage the field guns. But they're going to need to doing the job. Sniper reaches it as well. Sniper with 15 kills, not bad. And we got the Pumels there being gunned down mercilessly by the centre victory point. More pioneers for Niklas to repair all of his armour. Pumels moving ahead here, 16 kills. Panzerwerfer finally on the move here for Niklas and the 24th Panzer Division. Panzer being shot to bits here by the sniper. And field gun barrage on the gun of the EC. Sniper hanging back here, 20 kills, not bad at all. Sturmpanzer being fixed up, so I was going to see some time. There we go, barrage our man here on the calf point to deal with the penal troopers. There we go. Mostly blew a part of house ready to collapse and some trees and scrolls, but did get one Soviet soldier. Healing enforcement back at Niklas's base. Sturmpanzer almost good to go here for Niklas. Kusanagi's getting much closer to the IS-2. Manpower wise and command point wise. Overall, Niklas remains in control here, though Kusanagi is certainly doing his best to disrupt the fuel flow here for Niklas and ensure he doesn't get too much of a lead and build up too many tanks that could stop his IS-2. But again, at the moment he's of course got the chance also trying to survive all the anti-infantry stuff that Niklas is bringing to bear. But if he can't get to the IS-2 and Niklas is not anyway brought up any anti-tank, he's going to be in a very bad place. And we got more air recons out there for Niklas. Direct hit there on the field. They go both fields on the Sturmpanzer for air recons. Continue to sort of circle around the centre here, revealing all of Kusanagi's actions and movements. Sturmpanzer routed close to Veterans 1 though. Infantry began to deal with the field guns, got people moving up to at least somewhat cover that. In the east, we got Grenadiers here routing Major Kusanagi's eastern forces, opening up territory back there. Counter ready to find again. Sniper exposed. Didn't quite get it there. Kusanagi is very close to the sniper now. Sniper the IS-2. He's got the fuel, he's almost got the manpower, command point wise, he's not far off either. As for Niklas, his next priority should likely be a Panther. Since at this stage he should be starting to figure his opponent is stalling for an IS-2 or something otherwise big. I mean, he's not even seen a T-70. That should be a strong indicator his opponent is stalling, at least for now. Plus, I mean, he's got the lead, so it's also usually indicating he might be, opponent might try sort of thing, big to throw you off. But Niklas, well, he could be saving up for it. I mean, he's almost got the fuel and the manpower for it. Almost took out a field gun there with the Panzerwerfer barrage. Not bad. 5 kills. We got the Stuka close air support ready, and there you go. Kusanagi summons the IS-2 heavy tank to the front line. With this bastion of Soviet engineering, turn the tide and shatter the Hitlerite scum. Watch and find out. Grenadiers of his engineers in the east. Pilgrims was Mac dealing with the pioneers in the west. He's very close to the Panther there, Niklas, and certainly starting to very much look like he's going to go for it. And if he doesn't go for it once the IS-2 hits him, I have to say he's gone mad. But there you go, Grenadiers in the fight from the IS-2, start backing up here as well. We got air support going to deal with the IS-2 for now. IS-2 misses some of the Grenadiers, but that might not last long. And there you go, air support throwing everything in there. Most of the shots are actually missing the IS-2. That's pretty lucky there for Major Kusanagi. Sturmpanzer getting Veterans 1. Just get heavy machine gun there, mounting on top there, so opening up the aircraft. Actually takes out one of the aircraft. Sturmpanzer shoots, misses. Western victory point being lost. We got 475 versus 313. And there goes some actual hits going through there. Niklas with the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen for the 24th Panzer Division. Seizing the western victory point. Sturmpanzer moving about, and then he's moving in for the cuff point. There goes straight line in front of the IS-2 and suffering a punishing blow there. And there you go, IS-2 pin up machine gun takes out the second aircraft. Panther almost done there for Niklas. Kusanagi is going to have to do some hard work, and he also needs to take out, I think, to back up the IS-2 versus Niklas. 26 kills on the sniper, 27. Actually, now I'll manage to outpace the Soviet one. There you go, Panther out for Niklas. Of course, now Kusanagi knows he has to be a bit more cautious, since that Panther could give him a big headache. Panther with barrage off. Suspected machine gun position here, not bad, not bad. He's not just blind firing, hoping to hit something. He's, actually aiming after stuff to murder with it. That's very good. In fact, that's very important. And there you go, IS-2 charging through here. Sniper routed. Panthers bringing in to intercede. Stop Major Kusanagi's armoured onslaught. Finding for the West take on these penal triple sniper all engaging here. Pioneers bringing up. We got the Sturmpanther having away at the Engineers in the centre. 4 kills in the east. IS-2 is the Panther. Shots fired and Mr. bounced. 3 infantry going around here to back up the Panther. Very good. Almost got the eastern fuel point. In the west, fighting continues with both sides retreating troops. Oh dear. That is really risky there for Niklas with the single grenadier left in that squad. They got the Sturmpanther moving too far ahead into the line of how the field guns could try and attack ground here to take it out permanently, and none of the shots hit. Close one there for Niklas. Close one. Grenadiers rushing the centre, Max opening up. IS-2 moving ahead against trying to engage the fascist scum. Shoots and misses. 278 versus 475 in the south here. Panthers falling back with the damage engine. Panther Airfoe ready to fire again in a few moments. Sniper with 29 kills. IS-2 rolling back. Panthers in dire need repair. See. Pioneers getting sniped. Grenadiers up here. There you go. Finally retreating. We got 28 kills and ace level on Major Kusanagi sniper. Nice work. Still not sort of tech. I mean, he's got the resources now to begin taking up. So I definitely think that should be something on Major Kusanagi's planning board there to get done with. Fixing up the Panther. Gonna need some watch. Sturmpanther also need repairs. The only thing not in need of repairs is the Panzerwerfer. Bit of quiet here, bit of skirmishing in the south. And in the west, territory being grabbed here. Major Kusanagi looking a bit stronger now. But again, I do feel like you should prioritize. And there you go. I think we got the Indonesian retreating, which could indicate he's probably going to take up. You could just go for the temperature command for the issue 6s. We could try and go further here, then push out T345s or issue 5s to back up his IS-2 properly. I think that'd be a pretty good idea. So obviously that is exactly what Major Kusanagi is planning. He's got something else in mind.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
437 versus 273. Back at base, he seems to have forgotten a bit there. He's a bit concerned with the front line. There we go. And we do notice a resource drop. So, yep, Kusanagi is finally taking out there. Took him long enough. But better late than never. IS-2 under fire from the Panther. The Panther comes from front. IS-2 shoots, misses. Maxim currently they're backed up with the field. They're making any sort of immediate head-on assault. They're a bit more difficult for Niklas. Of course, he's got the Panther to soften things up, and of course that's good. They could also consider those smoke screens. Throwing more to there, go Maxim taking any casualties. In the west, Pumes under fire from the Sturmpanther. All took German infantry corps nearby to make things more difficult for Kusanagi. Sturmpanther getting close to 82 in the centre. Going to lose advancing here. Maxim retreated. IS-2 arrives and obliterates several grenadiers. Also killing one of its own. Grenadiers are taking a nice hit from the IS-2, 9 kills. And these Grenadiers advancing, comes coming up. They've got the Panther charging in here. Niklas is on the warpath. He is going for the IS-2, shoots Banters, but the field gun at close range bounces off the Panther's armor again. That's pretty lucky there for Niklas. Another shot goes through this time though. Niklas, I suppose, if he loses something or loses enough to get another Panther, he could consider that. Sturmpanther, there you go, gaining veteran 2, bombarding and trying to take out support weapons, but it's not quite landing those crucial and needed blows to finish the job yet versus the Germans. 29 kills, 34, halfway to veteran fee there. 35. Bit of quiet here. Troops sitting reinforcing. Very quiet here. Roughly 50-50 split on the map, though with a slight lead here to Niklas and victory points and resources. Got that eyes tuning about. Oh dear, those pioneers could be trouble. Look, the R2's not moving anything towards the centre now. Got to go try and cut Niklas' main fuel supply. A bold attack continues attacking straight through the centre where Niklas' defence is likely to be the toughest. Though you've got a pack 40 up. Now air support was running down here. Sturmwix sending the infantry going. Eyes shooting up, shooting directly hitting the Panther. Pioneers taking casualties as well. People swimming up there. Gonna likely take out the Panther if possible, or take out the pack. Panther down to less than half health. Eyes through this altar in that spot. He's almost got the Panther for here, but it looks like he's not finding the tank rifles. He's, I think, trying to get close enough to pop the anti-tank satchel. Didn't quite there succeed. Oh dear, Panther's moving forward, so he's going for the eyes too. Is he? Strafing fire there, raining down on the pack crew, almost taking out there. Panther takes a hit. And there you go, pack crew is down. Eyes 2 running back. Penals over there. Could try and grab the pack, but they can't. And I don't think they have enough time to pop the Sato charge either. Still, decent push there by Major Kusanagi, forcing Niklas onto the defensive in the centre there. Canadies moving forward into the maximum line of fire. Eyes 2 pursuing repairs. And yeah, he's even popping crew self-repairs to speed up the process. Very good move there. Sturm Panther rushing through the centre, air support running down in the Grenadiers, and there you go. Great hit on the Sturm Panther by the field gun. No real flanking attempt here. Niklas is just furious. He's charging straight down just to ram that Sturm Panther forward down Major Kusanagi's throat and choke him on it. But that plan did not quite seem to work out. Panther being fixed up. Grabbing the eastern victory point. That house is about to collapse. 16 kills, close to 22, coming steers on the fire from the R2 and are routed. Sturm Panther from the east, routing conscripts. 385 versus 253. He has tagged up, he's actually yet to get anything out of it, so, you know, would be good if he to get something out. Then he should fire with T-Fed 5 would be really good here for Kusanagi at the moment. And he's almost got the resources on him. He's very close there. IS-2 versus the Panther. Better 2 on the IS-2, that's pretty good there for Kusanagi. Less good there for Niklas. Air support called in to route the IS-2. Aircraft shot down. So will he go for the T-45 or has this just all been for naught in the end? There we go, T-45 on the way there for Kusanagi, actually building up now an arm advantage. Numerical versus Niklas, needs to bring in more tanks. Another Panther I think would be good to hit those the IS-2 and of course whatever's going to hit next, which is in this case going to be a T-45. Having 2 Panthers out to deal with that probably could give Niklas one. Oh, he goes to the command tank. In some ways I can see the logic in it, but it just does not provide any serious firepower directly versus the IS-2 or the T-45 they're going to be intending it. I mean, he's still really going to rely on a single Panther and a Pack 40 versus double field guns IS-2 or the T-45. That could rather mean Kusanagi in any arm engagement, depending how it plays out, could have the advantage, meaning Niklas is going to have to be an absolute tactical tank genius to stand a chance here. Command tank separating already from National Forces to move out on the west side there. Kind of risky if Kusanagi senses that and just goes for it first. T-45 they're arriving for Kusanagi and the 7th Mechanized Corps. As Niklas and the 24th Panzer Division is finding himself more and more in the defensive despite an otherwise strong start. Pioneers charging up behind against the Fumes, which was actually now fully reinforced. No conscripts who spotted amongst them. Grenadiers on fire here from the T-45. From north, IS-2 routing the Grenadiers. Panthers moving in close to 52. There we go, T-45 engaged directly. Red 2 gain on the command Panther. Pack 40 backing all up. IS-2 moving up. direct hit there, but of course the Command Panthers somewhat minimizing the damage suffered there by the IS-2's heavy hits. Field's moving up to engage with the Gunners, Chief of Follow clearing out some of the Grenadiers there. There you go, direct hits on it. Lots of fire there, Panthers down to half health, Panthers also exposed. Command taking about in the east here, but that does mean the Panthers actually now exposed. There you go, main gun out here. Certainly highlighting the issue. There we go, GG from Niklas. But I was about to say highlighting the issue and just going for a Command Panzer rather than another Panther. Here he ends up lacking enough firepower to deal with any sort of mass Soviet armored assault you saw here from Major Kusanagi. So an intense fight here on Crossroads, certainly highlighting some of the strengths and weaknesses of the map. Certainly shows a good strong early game from Niklas, but I feel like he got a bit too greedy here with Heavy Panzer Corps. Should have gone for Support Corps and just tried to finish the fight faster. Ended up delaying it with Heavy Panzer Corps, and again left himself a few vulnerabilities there, which was something Kusanagi was able to take advantage of and slowly push back against Niklas. And Niklas quite never seemed to sort of, I think, fully realise the situation was in, and just sort of floundered a bit about before Kusanagi then crushed him. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. And if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links are in the video description. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thanks for watching. You're all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.